So my name is Jamar Slade Russell. JS Russell is what I go by. I chose to go by the JS because when I was writing books while in prison, I figured to get the right attention, and be honest, sell books to white people, Jamar may not seem like a name that would be appealing. So JS was a good way to go about doing that. It may be something that's a little crazy, but when thinking about this country, the demographics, the history, and then marketing is how do I not appear like some threatening Muslim or something, which I'm not, by the way, and whoever is, nothing against that. So I was sentenced to life or suspended with 50 years for first degree murder. That's not the beginning of my story, nor is my end. While incarcerated, I also self-published 8 books, six poetry books, 2 children's books. Since I've been home, I'll self-publish 6 books. Just been home for a year now. Finally had graduated this reentry program. But let's talk about a little bit about the journey. So I got involved with the drug trade around 15. Me and moms had experienced the eviction. Thank God we didn't really have our stuff set out, but we had to leave the apartment. That kind of made me think that, well, if she can't maintain the bills or do what she has to do, then I need to figure out a way to take care of myself. 14-year-old thinking, so of course it wasn't correct, nor was it mature, nor was my brain fully developed. But that's what set me on the road of doing that. Father sold drugs, used drugs, different family members and stuff like that, so I just figured it was in my bloodline to hustle. Started out with marijuana, continued on until years later, someone asked about crack cocaine, added that to everything. So I started going down this road that I realized while I was incarcerated that financial hardships was a trigger for me. That's what caused me to go back, because there's times that I wasn't in the streets. Honor roll student, president of Nesby Junior chapter when I was in high school, president of the poetry club at some point in time. So academically, I did things that was necessary, even went off to A&T to be a civil engineer. This is what differed from a lot of other people that I was incarcerated with. A lot of people didn't have their GED, maybe didn't finish school or felt like they were confident or intelligent enough to go forth. I say this because I was a teacher's aide for years incarcerated, so I got to see the various levels of where young people and older adults were, and it didn't necessarily have to be the crime that took them away from their education. It could have been drug usage or just anything else that was going on in their environment. Analyzing all of this stuff is why I decided to take the route. First of all, when I was in the county jail surrounded by the guys that I was around, I felt like I was so much better than that. Not better than them, but better than the situation that I put myself in. So I've always been writing poetry since I was maybe in elementary school. That was another outlet, since like a lot of youth used to write raps. But if you don't have a beat, know how to count bars, stuff like that, it's just poetry anyway. That became my therapeutic outlet. In those times of free writing or expressing myself, it seemed like I would write myself into answers. So as I did all of this, I continued until I had a large enough collection. So once I was in the state institution, started looking into how I could get published. So explored various routes, read into some publications and such, and met the brother Sean Gardner. Sean Gardner came from the maximum security in Maryland, which is called North Branch, and started teaching the class of self-publishing. From that, I got with him with the Behind the Wall Mentors because we had a common passion of making sure that young people didn't end up where we were. Where I was, he still is. He got life in the States and the feds. Free my man. So, dealing with like-minded people in the drink developed to continuously be productive, feed off each other's energy, share ideas, and do what was necessary. I'm fortunate enough to have caught my charge in PG County, which is the only county in Maryland that has a reentry program. I benefit from that. It's tough because in my situation, a man lost his life, a mother lost his son, her son, and children lost their fathers, sister lost a sibling, the whole shebang. And that was a hurtful part in the court trial process, is hearing that mother scream when they showed him on the screen for her to identify. It was never my intention. I didn't hate that man or dislike him enough for that to happen, but with the series and events, which we'll go through another time in this series, let you know what actually would happen. But it took that and took me to go through what I went through to actually take my adversity, turn it to advantage, take my pain and make it purpose. So I don't like to touch on that too much because I know the family is still probably upset that I'm out here free, but it's because of all of that that now I am who I am, unfortunately. And these are the things in which I meditate or, have my conversations with God about, and we never know what his plan or his purpose is, but it's like within that, that's what happened in order for me to become. So I'm here to make sure that other young men, young women don't make my mistake. I had produced a guide, Do the Time, Don't Let the Time Do You. When I was in prison, I wanted to figure out a way to help others that was like me inside to cope with incarceration or how to go about best doing that time. So with me and the brother, Drew Ole, who actually is a great artist right now, developed that. And so my whole thing now is making sure that gets in the institution. Because now my purpose is to assist facilities, assist government agencies in lowering recidivism by using the tools that I have in my life experiences to teach others. Because if I done it, best believe they can do it too. Not only can they do it too, they'll have my assistance from what I'm giving you now to make sure that that's possible. So building the brand Writing Freedom, because that's what I've done. My publishing company, Inspiring Word, is what I'm self-publishing my books under. Do the Time, Don't Let the Time Do You is one of them. Turning adversity into advantage from a point of change is the workbook that I created, which was encouraged by John Lewis, Pastor John Lewis, a Servants of Christ. And then I took the other collections that I have and took Live from the Pen and created volume 1 and 2, which I actually take the poems of things that I was going through in those days or anything that was happening to me and add questions to them for therapeutic journaling for the reader. And this is necessary because I know how great journaling was for me incarcerated, how it helped me not only relieve myself or whatever I was going through, but also write myself into a solution. And then there's also the power of words. Now the spoken word is powerful, but also the written word, very, very powerful. So I've done the research since I've been home, and they say that by writing down your plans, it makes it 10 times more likely for it to happen. That's what one person said, or one source. The other one said it makes it 42% more chance likely for it to happen. Still, anything to give an advantage, I tell all of the young people that I work with, that I mentor to, write 10 goals. And from there, create the plan. So I'm insisting that anybody and everybody that watches this, start by writing down your plan. Start by writing down your vision. Habakkuk 2:2 said, write the vision and make it plain. And it says something else about, so whoever reads it can run, not tarry. So that's basically, make it clear and concise exactly what it is that you're trying to do. And I figured that if you can do it, just like I've done it, then other people that we leave our instructions, our direction, our lives to, that they can do that much greater. And that's what I'm doing. Put my whole heart out here, putting my work out here, so I can help make a change in this world. 2.3 to 2.4 million incarcerated just in America. We lead the world in that. So that's 2.3 to 2.4 million Americans that I can help. Now it doesn't just stop there. Be working to change the whole system of incarceration so that they're not just places of penalty, but they can be places of transformation, rehabilitation, places that can be a starting point for anybody that has stumbled. With Dr. Jonathan Queen, be working on the Prison to Prosperity pipeline along with Reverend Pugh, which I'm a part of the prison ministry with at Reed Temple A&Me. And I'll continue to work with all of the other government agencies in PG County, especially Michael Williams with RCAD, which is the Returning Citizens Affairs Division, and also those that have helped me in my transition with the Problem Solving Court. So there you have it. J.S. Russell, writing freedom.